welcome back to your number one superstore, including Laserdisc, where we take your request for a topic and give our recommendation. We are receiving a request from a dying, decrepit, and very old woman who is obviously suffering from severe dementia. She asked for a horror movie directed by a woman with no nudity. What the heck?
That's why she called Videorama.
That's right. She knew to stop trying the best and start trying the rest. And I'm Adrian.
Spacer's Choice.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I'm Donnie. I'm Spacer's Choice.
Oh,
Jesus. My name is Linda, and I'm still Elron Cheeser for this month.
Is that why you live on a yacht?
I really want to find a captain's hat.
You're making me wish I could play the piano or the keyboard, because then I'd put on the captain's hat and I'd be all like, on board, I'm the captain. So I'm aboard. So we're sailing the cinematic seas these days, and I brought my take on this very particular challenge.
Yeah.
And for some of us, it was smooth sailing, namely me. And for other ones, that shit was like red sky in the morning, yo. They're all cringing because I made them watch a movie from 1953.
You made us watch a movie that I would like you to tell me what genre is this film?
It ain't whole.
Okay, that's okay.
The film that says on the very cover that it is a noir film. A noir,
right? But that's not a genre anymore. And if you're lumping stuff together like Play-Doh, that goes a couple of ways. But I will say this: this is a movie about two guys on a trip in the desert being terrorized by a guy with a fucked up eye who murders people. Now,
it ain't ho.
It's close enough. Besides, I feel like it's a pretty big win on one of the other one of the other terms of this particular challenge. Besides, the first thing this guy does is shoot a screaming woman to death. That's the first thing that happens in the movie. I realize I'm in the minority here, but yes, this is 1953's The Hitch-Hiker, starring fucking Frank Lovejoy. Fuck you so much. Oh, parents just don't understand.
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer's the Hitchhiker.
Yeah, I feel like we would never have had the Hitcher if it weren't for movies like this one. But yeah, William Tallman from the fucking Perry Mason TV series is Emmett Myers, the guy with a fucked up eye, who is a hitchhiker who kills people. We got fucking Edmund O'Brien, who was also in DOA and The Bigamist. And we got Frank Lovejoy, who was a motherfucker from I Was a Communist for the FBI, who luckily died a couple of years later.
Jesus.
But this is a 1953 masterpiece written and directed by actress-director Ida Lupino, who, now I'm gonna tell you why I forced this on you. Because one of the important points on this was that it would be directed by a woman. So I figure if this is a movie directed by a woman, you guys, one of you guys picked, Catherine Bigelow in the 1980s, when there weren't all that many women directors, and one of you picked the Babadook, from more these days when there's more women directors, but there's still very much a minority. I picked Ida Lupino from the 50s when there was basically almost no such thing as a woman director, and it was a fucking uphill battle because that was like actual pioneer times for this kind of thing during goddamn McCarthyism.
Well, I enjoyed it. I just and I like Ida Lupino. I just don't feel like it's horror.
I had trouble following the movie.
That's fine.
My attention waned.
Okay, even though I picked the shortest one that was 70 minutes long.
It was only 70 minutes.
It did not feel like 70 minutes.
All right.
I'm not even joking.
Saying I'm not stretched.
Oh, I'm not even joking. I just stopped paying attention because it's like they're just two dudes on a road trip with a guy that keeps threatening to use a gun and just also tells them, oh, don't escape, see, because I got a fucked up eye, see, and I can watch while I sleep, see. And
Okay.
Like, okay, Gandalf.
I knew you'd bring this up. I knew you guys would bring this up.
I hope so.
Okay, I did. But let me point out to you. There's another so-called horror movie from the late '70s that made a lot of money and had a lot of sequels.
Uh-huh.
Deliverance.
The late '70s, Linda.
Yes.
And in that one, you never see anybody die, and some people are in a house and they're just kind of mean to each other, and then they leave.
Yes.
And it's a horror movie. Nobody dies. Nothing happens. The Amityville Horror. It's a shitty horror movie, you know. But what I'm saying is like, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm using a lot of technicalities here, but I'm skating.
You are really being technical.
Squeezing this one in there. I'm wedging it in there. Look, this is one of the first things I thought of when we brought up the challenge. I'm like, well, like it's got a guy with a fucked up eye. It's got people, it's got a gun. It's got murder. It's got people terrorizing one another. It's got the, isolated setting. Like he's fucking with their heads. It's like, oh, you guys got wives. Oh, they're looking for you in the Chocolate Mountains, huh? Oh, but you went to get some pussy, didn't you? Oh, naughty. Oh.
Chocolate Mountain sounds like something gay.
It does. It really does.
Can you confirm, Adrian?
Well, let me see. This is directed by a very progressive lady, right? And it's the 50s, back when you had to have that subtext, right? It's like, hey, remember that chick? Oh, she's probably dead now. You're right. Yeah, we're going fishing, right? It's like, yeah, fishing for orgasms with my penis in your ass.
On the Chocolate Mountain, y'all.
The Chocolate Mountain.
Well, I looked it up. There really is the Chocolate Mountains there in Southern California.
That's where guys go to bang.
And well, actually, close. Do you remember? The Navy and shit use it as a gunnery range.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that's the area that was getting all shot up in Top Gun, which isn't gay at all.
Yeah.
No.
Playing with boys.
But I mean, it is directed by a woman. There is no nudity,
and there's
but this is
nudity.
a crime drama. So, as the legend Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
See, it ain't bad.
That makes it a film noir, not a horror.
Yeah.
Right, but people don't know what film noir is anymore. You got people's faces coming out of shadows and shit. Now, I love film noir. I'm fudging it, and you know what? I'm okay with that because I wasn't going to go select a movie from the 80s. But besides, you should be thanking me because when I got this challenge, I very nearly stuck you with an Ed Wood movie.
Is it a horror piece?
Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be technically
There's
horror, but like
something.
it'd be Ed Wood directing as Glenda. So at that time, he would be female. That's what I was going to use. Either way, I was going to skate into this shit sideways. So this is the side I skated in on. But yeah, so because this movie is from 1953, certain data points were harder to obtain about where my money's at.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
Amy?
thing.
Amy, what happened? What did you do?
I want my story.
Amy, this is serious. Damn it. Where is it, Amy? Where is my money?
There's a cat in the video store.
Oh my god. That must be Amy the cat. Amy the cat.
Where my money?
Kill the cat for me.
Where my money at? Okay.
Where my money at, bitch?
Okay. So this movie got inflicted on the public on March 20th of 1953, right? And guess what? They don't keep box office totals from that far back, which is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, okay? Because I fucking love the 50s. I love old movies. But one thing I was able to determine, so I don't even have a fucking budget on this. But one thing I am able to do is give a little bit of context. I can tell you some of the other movies that came out of March of 1953. So because I feel like context is very important. If you watch this movie and you'd never seen a 50s movie before, I'd be like, why are they talking like that? How come there's no color? Well, let me tell you why. So some of the other major releases, March 1953, Fritz Lang's The Blue Gardenia. Lady might have accidentally killed somebody. You know. The Woman They Almost Lynched, a Republic Pictures Western, which looks like hilarious exploitation. Seminole with Rock Hudson. On the poster to that one, he's beating up an Indian. So it's a real sensitive picture, I'm sure. Yeah. Battle Circus with Bogart was out around then. Woman in Jeopardy with Barbara Stanwyck. Ooh, and Doris Day and By the Light of the Silvery. Yeah, but like a lot of musicals like Irving Berlin's Call Me Madam, a lot of westerns. There was something with Robert Ryan called City Beneath the Sea. Yeah, so a lot of that shit was going on at that particular moment. No super famous pictures that I'm able to tell. There was a Gene Autry western called On Top of Old Smoky. It was the
Who's Old Smoky?
all right.
That's what they're calling it these days.
Not only was it the 50s, but it was the early 50s. Like, it was a different fucking world. And being that world, where segregation was super beloved, like, doing anything different made you a commie. Being a woman directing a movie, was far from the norm. And Ida Lupino had a production company called The Filmmakers, which is, it's like, you just call it The Filmmakers, like, I guess. And on one of the pictures, the director had to bow out for, I think, health reasons, and she wound up taking over. And so that's what got her into doing pictures like The Bigamist and this.
And The Unwanted.
Right? Yeah. No, she was that shit was like that shit's racy for back then.
She did a story about an unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah, you could, and back then you couldn't admit that the stork didn't bring those. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wendy, are you saying that you know stuff?
I think I am.
Oh.
Linda knows stuff. Don't act all surprised. I'm allowed to know stuff.
No.
So apparently this was inspired by this crime spree by Billy Cook.
Well, how could you not know? The film begins with "This could happen to you."
It'll happen
This
to
is
you.
a true story.
Yeah.
And the whole tagline is, "Who will be his next victim?" ...
You.
But apparently, Ida and her husband, former husband, Collier Young, wrote the screenplay. That was, now this is kind of fucked up, but it's going into what Adrian was saying. It's based on a book by Daniel Mainwaring.
Oh.
I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
And anyway, it was adapted, but Mainwaring did not get credit because he was a name on the Hollywood blacklist.
That's right. Yeah.
Was
Speaking of McCarthyism.
Yeah, because it was just a list of people that could not be hired in Hollywood or acknowledged, given credit to in Hollywood, because either they were communists, those damn dirty commies, or commie sympathizers.
Yeah,
So,
if you did anything to not cooperate with the committee, if they brought you before them and you didn't give them the names of people who were commies, you were non-cooperative, and so
and therefore an empathizer.
Yeah, so you wound up like Ring Lardner Jr., or fucking Dalton Trumbo, a lot of good folks, And then there were the people who were like, man, I sure hate commies, like Ilya KAZAN. And he just went up there and be like, oh boy, this is fun. Let me give you some more names. And people were like, no, Ilya KAZAN, you're doing it wrong. You weren't supposed to help them. They're bad. And he's like, what? Don't you tell me I was bad. I'm glad what I done to them. And then KAZAN made On the Waterfront.
I'm Ilya motherfucker KAZAN.
He's a good director. He was just an idiot. That was his problem.
And he used to say that when he would enter parties. KAZAN! Or bars.
That's what turned Billy Batson into Ilya KAZAN.
Exactly.
It's Talkie Tawny, the talking tiger.
All of a sudden I can direct, but I'm really fucking stupid.
Explains everything.
And that was the movie Kazan.
Call us up, TCU. We got your picture.
Oh God. No.
Yeah,
no,
call us.
No. Don't call us.
We'll call you.
Ida Lupino came from a long line of performers, and
Illustrious.
not that kind of performer, not the kind you would be familiar with, Tawny.
What do you mean?
Yeah. She performed with her clothes on.
Oh.
I wouldn't
She,
recognize you with the clothes on.
Yeah, I can't recognize you. Bend over.
I guess her dad and most of her family, as performers, they really pressured her to be an actress, and she didn't want to be an actress. So, like, she took a bunch of shitty roles just to appease the family and her dad. But she really wanted to write and direct, and eventually, obviously, she ended up doing that.
Yay.
But she was the only woman to direct an episode of The Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone's one of my favorite shows, so that was cool. But I was a little surprised to find out that she did not direct the episode The Hitch-Hiker. But here we are.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and she ended up enrolling in the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, as she was born in London, England.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're descended from a very illustrious Italian performer family. Yes.
It's true.
She was putting on airs. You know.
As you do.
am Ida Lupino. You should invite me to your event.
Latino. Latino Grigio.
Yeah.
Better than
Quit saying
Kazan.
that stuff, Donnie. It sounds like you're talking Mex. I don't understand that Mex.
God.
Si,
Oh, God.
senor.
The hitchhiker is a fugitive running away to Mexico, only he don't talk no Mexican.
Yeah, he expects them to speak the English.
Yeah. You know, because he's all uneasy and stuff, and he has that gun, and like, you stink, liars, you smell, just like your clothes. Without that gun, you're nothing.
Yeah, you shut your mouth. Like, no, I'm just gonna keep telling you you're nothing. See, you're just a bad guy with a bad reputation. I'll kill you eventually. I mean, I'm gonna keep talking about it like I'm gonna kill you, but I mean, I don't have to. I mean, I should, but I'm not.
I should just kill you and take your car, but I'm not gonna do that.
Like, I could have taken your car and gone a killing spree, but no, I kind of like you. Not in a homo way, just a normal way. That's what I said. Not a homo, a normal way.
I heard that
He did ask one guy to take his clothes off. I am gonna put that out there.
I mean, the chocolate mountains.
In all their majesty.
In the big gold chocolate mountains, you never need no lube.
After you get married, you never have to go back to the chocolate mountains.
That's
unless
right.
you want to. That's remind me. Apparently, there were only 3 killings because Ida Lupino had to limit it because of the Hays Code, or the Hays Act.
Aren't you glad that we got rid of them? And Jack Valenti's like, you know what people want? They want titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is from 1953, so don't have no titties. Also, there's no women in this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a major sausage fest.
Yeah,
There's just a little girl.
Yeah, right. Well, now
And the
wait.
loudmouth woman that got her face blown off.
Yeah, right. You're right. The woman who gets blown away off camera, is there. But I said women, Linda. Girls are not women and should not be treated as such.
She was a woman when she died just recently. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
She was an elderly woman.
Okay, that's like that line in The Sinister Urge by Ed Wood, where it's like, oh look, she's just a girl. It's like, oh, I wonder if she grew up in that moment of truth.
Wow.
Like, that is the most horrifying thing.
God.
My stars.
So,
I'd obviously seen this before. Since this is a 50s movie, it's like one of the many black and white movies that got thrown into the public domain. And so when they were like churning out like 99-cent DVDs, like about 15, 20 years ago, like this is one of the ones that'd be put on there along with Night of the Living Dead and like Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And so like I went to visit my parents and they had like a whole CD wallet full of these that they just got in bins at the 99-cent store. And I watched this one, and this is one of the only ones I'm like, hey, that was really short and decent. Sweet. And the guy has a fucked up eye. It's like,
yes.
I don't know if I'm asleep because I got a fucked up eye.
What you drinking, Donnie?
We're not sponsored by anything, so I can't really say, but it is good.
Meow meow juice.
Yes, it's meow meow party juice. I milk my cats daily.
Just don't make like that guy in Plume de Cristallo and start eating them.
Donnie can do whatever he wants. He's an adult.
Yeah, I am a man, not a boy.
Remember, there's no such thing as a grown man. There's only a grown ass man.
Am I a man or am I a muppet?
Or
I'm
are you
a
a
muppet
Muppet
of a man.
You are a nipple.
You're a nipple. This
Mom's a
film
muppet
was
of
a nipple.
Well, it kind of goes on like a little too long with the hey, there's still
long. It's like, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna shoot you. Okay. If you don't get this car to stop its horn the first time, I'm gonna shoot you. Okay.
Yeah,
if you don't
the guy
go behind this rock and take your clothes off, I'm gonna shoot you. What?
He's got the one threat, and he's gonna remind you he's got it.
Yes, because he has the dead eye, and he's just gonna stare at you while he's looking at you with his dead eye and point his gun at you. And you better do what I say, or pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, and then there's the part where they decide that he really is asleep, and they try to run away down the airstrip, and then he pops up behind him in the fucking car, and they're like, "Oh, my foot's caught. We're gonna die."
He could have run him over even, but he doesn't. He politely stops and says, "Ha ha, gotcha."
Well, he could have run him over, but the thing is that he's a well-known fugitive, and his posters everywhere, so he needs those guys to be his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then, he has to like rub it in before I kill you. You're friends. That's why you're losers. You're friends, and you got friendship and the power of friendship. Friendship is magic.
Care Bears and shit.
Then they also do the bit where he's like screaming for the airplane, and he starts crying, and he's like, "No, leave him alone. He's praying."
Even when their friendly Mexican boat ride person is going to go and call the cops, and the cops show up, he could have shot him still. But he's just like, oh, I've had this gun in my hand so long, I forgot how to use it. Oh. And then he ends up being shot a lot. Because that was back in the time when you had bad guys that you had to have die at the end of all the stories because you couldn't glamorize crime in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, that's a very early 50s theme, and you got the other 50s theme too, where there's the little girl in the store. And these the Frank Lovejoy being a piece of shit is all freaked out that Myers there is gonna kill her, do something to her, so he pulls her away, and he's like, "What'd you say to her? You said something Mex to her."
He said
Mexicans speak Mexican.
God.
He's like, "You wouldn't understand what I said because you're a godless heathen." It's like, nah, shut up. See, what'd you say to her? It's like, I said, "Go you with God, little one." It's like. And the guy keeps hugging the little girl. He's like, God, get off that child already. Honestly, people could see you.
But in reality, all he said was go with God. None of that.
Yeah, well, that's now, like, I like this movie. There's not a whole lot that I would change, but Frank Lovejoy's the thing I would change. But maybe it's because the first thing I saw him in was I was a communist for the FBI. It's just like, oh, you're playing that guy, huh? Sevik, that piece of shit.
I
Okay.
was a cum slut for the FBI.
Now,
I was
what
a
did
cum dump for the federal government.
I was all gay for the CIA. Oh.
I want that dick, see? You're going to give me the jizz, see? I got the gun and a lazy eye because some guy came in it, see?
Now put
Edward
that
G.
dick
Robinson?
next to your face.
No, if it was Edward G. Robinson, like cross country, like gay raping guys at gunpoint, sure.
We're going to play William Toe with dicks.
But I'm a simple farmer. Why are you holding that gun on me? I'll do what I want, see?
I was thinking of Linda this movie because I kept thinking, God, this movie could use an alien abduction just right now. At least it would make sense of all the driving to no fucking where.
Oh no, what's happening?
Yeah, or just let him go fishing. Let him just have an honest day of fishing, and then he can threaten them. It's like, hey, I got a bite. It's like, if you don't bring that fish in, I'm gonna shoot you. See? It's like, oh no, I gotta really catch this fish. Oh boy.
No, Donnie, fishing is salvation, and they're in a desolate landscape of the soul.
They're without God. That's what's going on.
Yep, they
You're
need
gonna
God.
get me a nice bass. See?
Yeah,
God,
I saw you said bath. It's like, I'm gonna give you a nice bath. See, I'm gonna use both hands. Like, make sure you get in the crack. You don't want any dirt there. Yeah, behind your thighs. Yeah.
Baby boy needs a good washing.
Didn't your mama teach you that? Now I'm gonna shoot your ears off if you don't wash behind them.
Turn into El Topo. There's all of a sudden a bathtub on a sand dune, and they're bathing each other.
Yes, and he's got
El
a naked
Topo.
son next to him walking
And then,
off.
yeah, water shoots out of a statue.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he
yes.
fights somebody for no apparent reason.
It
It
makes
could have been
sense.
give it a Monty Hellman ending, where at the end Myers runs over the hill and he runs into the other Myers, and in slow motion they fight.
Or they just turn to the camera and go, it's all a lie. All of this has been a lie. And he starts demolishing the camera and the sets. And...
Zoom out.
Yeah.
What?
That bad guy is you.
Speaking of opinions.
Yeah, Don.
What? You want my opinions or something? Or you want other
did you
people?
find the opinions of others?
Reviews. I dug up a few reviews because it was very hard to find reviews for a movie that's as dead as the actors in this film. But I managed, and I had to decipher them because they weren't written in the King's English.
Were they written in Mex?
No, they were kind of written in, we don't know how to type the words we speak.
Oh, that's my favorite language. Let's hear it.
Yeah, like the original text of this is, for its day, not good that day, think blobbo. So I was able to decipher that as good for its day, not good for this day. Think the blob.
Okay, so they meant to type the blob, but they wrote blubbo.
Yes. Unless they're trying to say blob is like blobbo, like, hey, bucko, and hey, cheesehead. But
that's what I like to call my friends, my real friends at Blubbo.
It's
hey,
strong.
slammer. We also had
That's not wrong.
it has something new it was something new for the time, but did not age well. Dreary and unexciting thriller, only livened up by some great scenery. The bad guy is not that bad or enchanting, and the two guys are dull, and their characters never explored. It's well made, just TD us. Co-written and directed by actress Ida Lupino. This is not a great example. I'm sorry. This is a great example of a vanity project. And lastly, because this goes into the nuts of the film, this was Neuer that I sought out in conjunction with my podcast listening, as a show was set to review it as a key film in the genre. Aside from the time period in which it was made and the female director, I'm not sure what was such a big deal about this one. Unfortunately, though I can appreciate it for the edgy approach for its time, it's still a bit slow and meandery at times, as it's just about three guys driving around the desert to evade the cops, which may not be as cinematic as other action could have been. Worth a rental at the least, not a purchase. That is my reviews.
Oh,
God bless.
the Patriot
Good.
missiles. I'm sorry, William Tallman wasn't more enchanting.
Yeah, I'm just surprised another podcast actually looked up and watched this, but they seem to have been looking for a action film, not a horror film.
Ah, they were looking for an action film. Well, if I brought this to an action movie category, it would be equally inappropriate. So
This is true. You would still have that card.
Inappropriate. But as
But
we all
not
know,
like we can be.
inappropriate's my middle name. So
Adrian,
Oh.
Inappropriate Smithy.
I kind of agree with the
Swipe.
meandery because it did just kind of
Yes.
go on
Yeah.
and on and on, and that's why I'm surprised when you said it was the shorter of 70 minutes. It
Yeah.
legitimately felt way longer.
It totally felt longer.
And even with like just not paying attention at times, I was like, I could rewatch this, but no. I got
Well-
enough of the gist of it, and I had it playing like on my second monitor beside me,
yeah,
but I had to fight the urge to go and play a game or watch something else while it was going on because just nothing happened.
okay. So you weren't super engaged with it.
No, it's like I've watched a lot of black and white movies, like
okay,
freaking like the Hammer
but
horror
not
and
this one.
older stuff. Yeah. But this was just like, I'm sure they did good stuff, but god damn.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that this is like the same caliber as like Double Indemnity, or Kubrick's The Killing, or Touch of Evil.
Or
I'm
Slumber
like,
Party Massacre.
well,
The
Linda's
Toxic
talking about
Avenger.
her movie with tits again.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, honestly, yeah, like I get that it's a trap for repetitive, and it's a 50s picture, so you get the back and forth with the philosophizing. The first time I watched this, I was actually more engaged with it. I actually did it in one sitting back then, and I'm like, hey, look, that was a cute little picture. It was like an hour long. Sweet, just flew right by.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of give it, I'm sorry to interrupt your point there, is that
No,
it reminded me of god damn, the films of its time where they had to have a fucking message, like
Mhm.
the Reefer Madness. That thing was
yeah,
really fucking horrible because
Yeah.
it was preachy as all hell.
that
and
one
then,
also
like-
has an opening crawl, right, where it
Yeah,
says like
yeah,
something
yeah.
must be done for the marijuana, and they spill it wrong.
Yes, and then the whole ending of this could be you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as
devil's
like
weed.
the Mystery Science Theater classic, the I murdered my parents, or no,
I accused my
blame
parents.
I accuse my parents. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
this
From
is the same type of thing back
Sam
then.
Neufeld.
A
Yeah.
moral lesson film, and
Yeah.
it's like
Um,
it didn't go nearly as bad as those films did. It was okay in that
Right.
sense. The story was okay, but it's just, God, it was just slow. I just wish something actually had happened. But again, for the time, it's like, yeah, I could see this being something where someone's probably like, I just shit my pants. I don't know if I love this movie or feared it. So yeah.
Well,
I made
right.
an oopsie.
And they I feel like they adhered pretty closely to the events of the bit with the actual like criminal, at large and all that.
Yeah.
And so they cut out other opportunities for entertainment. So it doesn't go to the one side where it's like like super over the top thriller, and it doesn't go the other way where it becomes in cold blood like like
Yeah.
we consider those things. It's a little bit in the middle. But I feel like for the short subject, it handles it all right. Like, and the guys, it's like you just get little hints about who they are. They're like, well, I haven't been away from the wife and kids, since the war. It's like, are you sure you don't want to turn back? Like, no. It's like, oh, if we go there, all there'll be is fishing. It's like, that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? And they talk about going back to Mexicali and like seeing this I assume older bartender chick, because they're like, oh, she's probably dead by now. And then they get there, he's like, no, I have a wife and kid. I don't want to get out of the car. And it's like, you insufferable fuck.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
pretend to be asleep.
like it would have got a lot of points for me if Myers there had just killed off Frank Lovejoy's character, and then Collins had to contend with Myers.
Yeah, I kept actually thinking that was going to happen at some point where it's just like, you know what, I'm tired of this, just kill me and get it over with. But they never did.
Yeah.
Alas,
But
and alack.
because Lovejoy's also the one who can shoot, right? And they have the bit where he makes him like shoot the thing out of his friend's hand without shooting his friend.
Yeah, shoot the can, yeah.
Psychologically, tormenting them.
Like,
Pudding time.
Like a dick in his mouth.
I like that bit. Put his dick in his mouth. Yeah. Yeah, I like the part where he wakes up and then all of a sudden Myers' dick's in his mouth. It's just a funny.
Yeah, I
like
don't
my
know if he's
stiff
awake or
one
not.
eye
He's just
never goes
staring at
down.
me.
It's like, oh no! Why can't I stop him?
Oh no! But although I think this is kind of a pioneering one in another sense, though, in that this is sort of like one of those nature setting noir pictures, like, because those were rare to see. Usually they'd just be set in L.A., or whichever city was handy, San Francisco. City. Right, yeah, because most noir, it's about having the very blank set and just like having the shadows on the wall, like the single hanging light bulb, the dark alley,
and the city's like another character.
Which is sometimes true, jungle, but that's like, wait, what jungle?
They went to the actual jungle, not the urban jungle.
They said that in one of the makings of in Babadook, where they were talking about how the set is more like a third character. I was like, shut the fuck up, get out of here.
I thought you were going to say they were going to call the fucking Babadook a Neuer film.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, these things, all these things that you hear in audio commentaries that become cliche, they are sometimes true. It's just they're not always true when the people say them. But sometimes a setting, is like unto a character, and that it is equal time and weight, like and thematically, this thing's just tightly interwound is like this guy, but a lot of people come off pretentious talking like that,
Yeah.
But it's like a setting is often a reflection.
Another video store cat.
Oh my goodness.
The store is overrun with felines. It's not our fault.
Cats everywhere.
We thought we had planted seeds outside for grass, but it was actually catnip. So
cat seeds. I'm Meowth.
Didn't we get them to get rid of all the rats?
Yeah, they got rid of the rats, but the cats were all females and one male, so someone had fun.
We're preventing the plague. Ooh. The plague upon your soul.
Damn it, cat, I can't see shit now.
See through cat, it's magic.
The cat is a spirit.
God damn it.
My light source is different, so my cat doesn't become see-through. I mean, I'm in a video store. What are you talking about?
See, Donnie's recording from that office supply closet that leads into Narnia.
Mr. Thomas makes some mean tea.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I do. Oh, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, he's calling it his tea now. I see.
Yes. Linda, your thoughts on the film? You've been rather quiet on it so far.
Mr. Tumnus made me feel funny.
Me and Linda both picked movies that killed the dog.
Yeah.
Mr. Tumnus probably isn't supposed to be sexy because he's part fawn.
Is this a way of overlooking that Adrian just called you a dog killer film lover?
Oh, yeah. That's me.
Oh.
Like, don't kill enough pets in movies. No, I fucking hate it. But I for this movie, now that I mean, we pretty much summed it up. It's meandering. Just goes on too long for my likes, and
You would have
Yeah.
liked it if it was 45 minutes.
yeah. Plus I was
short
sick,
film.
so
Who let this lady direct for so long?
doesn't she have a husband to stop her?
Where's your
To knock
boss,
some
man?
sense into her?
Yeah, where's the real director, ma'am?
I'm just saying, she directed The Trouble with Angels, and no one can take that away from her.
True.
That's true.
But maybe if this had 2 Haley Millses, you'd like it better.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
Do you guys feel ready to try to fix things up?
Fix things up, you say.
Fix things up.
In a
Make
medical
things
way?
better, you say.
Make
Yeah.
pudding. Yeah, that's the one. Anybody volunteering to go first?
I
if
will.
nobody has one.
Okay, Donnie.
Wow.
Unleash the beast.
All over your face. Okay. So, Emmett Myers, once a man making his way through life constantly threatening but never actually shooting anyone, decides to embark on a new career, a taxi service. He makes an honest living as a good, honest, God-fearing Christian Republican in California. Every day is the same business day in and day out. Good customers and bad customers. Each one leaving his cab with a leaflet about Christ and the fear of the Red Terror. He begins his day giving cab rides and ends his day with pastrami on rye and a whole dill pickle and reading the funny papers.
Sounds really
It's
good.
a little film called Hey Cabby. That's how I would have fixed this film.
God damn it.
I don't know. Wouldn't it be more prudent just to have the pickle spare? I mean, you don't need the whole pickle.
Oh, you need the whole pickle. You need to take bites out of it so that shit juices everywhere.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
See, that's how a man eats a pickle. You don't even think like in a phallus or anything. You just jam it right in your gob and start glogging on it.
I had pickle spears for like breakfast on Friday.
You used to drink cups of pickle juice.
Yeah, I finished off the jar, so I drank the rest of the juice.
Okay, so I'm not the only weirdo here.
Oh, pickle juice is yummy, man.
That's
Especially
my
the
secret ingredient
zesty.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also used to be very dainty and dip the pickles in the juice. It was very.
Well, it's got to
classy.
be dill pickle though. It can't be,
Well, yeah, you can't
Yeah,
dill.
it's got to be zesty dill.
Those other mutant pickles need to
spears.
stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it like when they get like the bread and butter type of pickles.
Yeah.
It's like get
Or
the
like
fuck on out of here.
butt and poop pickles. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Poop pickle.
We're judging your
Um,
pickles, non-dill pickle lovers.
Cat
Yeah.
knows about dill pickle butt.
I guess my version is inspired by what you said, Donnie. They're taken over by a guy that's on the run, and he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you, see?" And then like just at the apex of all the drama and tension, that's when the visitors come.
Dude, I don't know.
And next thing you know, it's Deliverance, but instead of hillbillies, it's aliens.
Alien
They're like squeal like a human.
squeal like human pig.
Oh, dear.
He was like squeal.
Is this when Christopher Walken comes into the film?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, communion was a blessing.
Oh, Philly, Mora, you goofball.
Donnie, didn't you have the book Communion? When we were kids?
Yes.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
read Whitley Strieber. No.
I did.
Oh no, he's such a jackass.
I remember being scared by that.
Oh, okay. Well, even though we know that the real guy Cook got executed in the gas chamber, is in his butt. Yeah, no. In the movie, you know, Myers gets hauled off in handcuffs, all freaking out. We don't know what happens, so it's wide open for a sequel.
After the cops let them beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, stop.
Whatever happened to the good times? Where the cops held down the perpetrators while you just beat the shit out of him.
Shoot first, ask questions later. That's how we work.
You're thinking of the LAPD, Donnie.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rolling Vengeance, the Hitchhiking 2, Hitch-Hiker must die. That's right. He's busted out. See, he's got to tear up this part of the country. See, until he meets his match. See, Ida Lupino will star and direct because she's the chick he just can't handle.
I will kill you.
I don't know why she sounds like that now.
She's like, you can't fuck with me. See, I was High Sierra. I'll fuck you up, Mister.
She's
Mr.
kind
Man.
of Eartha Kitt for some reason.
Why not?
You know, the funny thing about Ida Lupino is that in a lot of her older roles, she took a lot of the kind of same roles that Agnes Moorehead had. She's in a lot of Columbo episodes. She's often one of the rich people's mothers, right? Like on the Lady in Waiting episode, she's like Lieutenant Columbo, bring in the bags because you look like a commoner to me. You know, she's got the red hair and she's all like, you know, she's very prim and proper. Yeah, that's Ida Lupino old. Yeah.
I may wear a dress, but you'll be wearing a body bag after I'm through with you.
Yeah. No, don't fuck with her, dude. She'll stick her lapdog on you and then hit you through her.
Perfect.
All I have is cha-cha heels. I want those cha-cha heels.
Did we learn anything from this shit? I don't think so.
We learned that the man has a really crazy eye that he keeps like open to watch people.
Look at my eye. Evil may keep its stiff one eye on you, but if you are good and pure and true, you can outlast the evil.
Yeah, evil
that guy.
Eye.
Also, if you're gonna run away to a foreign country, probably learn the language.
Yeah. Or you'll be running out of bullets.
And don't call it Mexican or Mex.
Yeah. It's called Spanish.
It's like, here we speak American.
Yeah. Now, there are worse words he could use, but he is the villain, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I guess with that, I say please listen, follow, rate, and review Videorama on Apple Podcasts. It will earn you a shout out. And check out our stuff on YouTube, where you can see our lovely faces. Also, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/VideoramaPod. And remember, you can find Videorama on Twitter, maybe on Instagram and Facebook. I don't know, but at VideoRamaP, which is just BIDEORAMAP. You can check out our website whenever I get that going. Maybe someday, videoramapod.com. And you could write to us right now at videoramapod@gmail.com. Check out my other podcast about witches in history and stories of all media, Bednubs and Broomflicks. It's spelled BROOMFLICKS. You know we're going to be enjoyable because we got them licks at the end. Yeah, Adrian, where you at, dog?
Because don't all good stories involve pirates? I'm Adrian. Greetings, people of Earth. You can I do artworks. I don't know if anybody said that. You can find me on the deviantart.com as Leo the Fox, LEOTHEFOX, all lowercase, all run together. I've got like 3,000 artworks on there, waiting for your scrutiny and perusal. There's stories on there too. Whatever. See if I don't care. cum stains. Well, DeviantArt is a
Human drippings.
family-related website, so only certain fluids are, and that they have a really retarded double standard, and they'll show a lot of naked ladies and not a lot of naked dudes. But
Hey,
trying
that
to
word's offensive. My brother's retarded.
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah. See if I care. Yeah. And I'm on Patreon too. As Leo the Fox, and you should definitely be looking that up and giving me money on the Patreon because I like money.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Don, what you do?
I like beans.
True.
I'm Unreal Goals on Twitter. Still rather to be like on Instagram. And I'm Unreal Goals on the YouTube. And yeah. Also find me at St. Vinny's right next to the Arby's. I have my office by the raccoons in the back by the trash.
And while we're at it,
I eat them kids.
happy birthday to our friend Brianna, aka Beans. And
Happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Next week, we'll have a special guest who happens to be a woman who's directed horror with no nudity.
Linda,
Why didn't we
a woman
choose them?
could direct a movie?
On what?
Eh?
Ah.
I was saying, why don't we choose their movie then?
Because we can watch their movie.
Oh.
Yeah, we
I've
can watch the
already
movie.
seen their movie in here.
That's what I have already killed you.
Yeah.
God damn it, people.
You make my drink taste like blood.
You made my blood taste like drink.
Which drink was it? Pepsi Blue?
It was blood.
God damn it.
We're going to have a lady filmmaker on.
Play us out,
Yeah.
Don.